Now what I need to do is link frame menu and frame body together in the same page. So I'm going to create, again, a new page, but in this case, I want to go to a frame page down here. So when this dialog pops up, I want to say new frame page, and I want to see, probably just select content. So I have a left-hand navigation and then the right-hand content. And that's a pretty basic layout. And you can kind of see a preview there. Press OK. And notice it says Set Initial Page on both of these different sections. So I'm going to click on the left-hand side and do Set Initial Page and make that become my frame menu. Press OK. And notice that it says Menu List. Well, basically what's going on here is that this page is showing me the contents of frame menu over here. Go back to the untitled one. Let's set the right-hand side to frame body. Press OK. And then let's save this particular page. And this one we're going to call, we're just going to leave it as default. But what I want to do is make sure that this is a .aspx page. That's a special Microsoft formatted web page, and that will allow us to have the frames as well as to give us access to the database later on. So we save that, and there's our default page. So now we've completed the first 4 steps of this assignment right now. The next thing we'll do is start building a mashup to an external website. So we're at step 5 here, where we're going to create what's called a mashup. And what we're doing is going out to an external website, in this case weather.weatherbug.com, and getting the up-to-date weather forecast for a zip code like for University of Pacific 95211, and displaying that in our web page. Again, we're not writing the code. One of the real benefits of the World Wide Web is the ability, in a sense, to steal or to borrow or to leverage, maybe that would be the better marketing term here, code that has been developed in other locations. And then we're going to reference that code within our website and make our website look a lot more professional without having to put in a lot of effort for that. So what we're going to do is go out to this particular website called weatherbug.com. I'm going to open this up in a new tab and jump over the tab here, and this is what's called a weather widget. And the neat thing about this is I can customize it, different web sizes, the size of the actual information. And now you can just put in a email it wants to have that particular information, but they actually is not required, or they won't bug you with the information. And then I put in my zip code, in this case for the University of Pacific, and whether we want to use Fahrenheit, Celsius, English, or Spanish are my only 2 options. We'll keep those defaults. Say I agree to those terms, and then we're going to click on this button to say get the code. And I forgot to hit the search button. We search for it, and then that'll give us back our city, Stockton, California. And then we do have different reporting stations that you can have listed here. We'll just stick with the default. Now we can get the code. And what is generated for us is some JavaScript. Now, as a business student, you probably don't need to worry too much about all of this gobbledygook, if you will, here of code. You can just click to highlight and then copy that code, and we'll use that within our website. And as a computer scientist, you would have to learn how to develop all the different JavaScript code, and you may have done some of that in a previous class. But with respect to what we need to do, we just need to embed that back into our website. And I want you to go over to the frame body file. So click on that frame body file that we've already had opened, and then click on the code tab down below here, and notice that the Again, we jump over to see the HTML. We have our welcome to Rolling Thunder Bicycle Company as a header. And we have a blank line here. You may or may not have. It's not that important. But anywhere in that blank line, we want to paste this code that we have selected from the other website. So notice here there's some div tags for the widget that we're going to include, the information or ID related to it, where it's getting the information, etc., and some actual JavaScript code right in here. Now, again, all of that is not really important from from our perspective. If I jump back over to the design view, there it is. Now, for whatever reason, it picked up French Camp as opposed to Stockton. Again, it's probably a different reporting station. Um, Not a big deal. I'm going to jump back to my default page. Notice that again, default, since it's just displaying the information on these other two files, shows the same thing. Make sure I save this frame body, and then let's preview our website at this point. I launch Internet Explorer, and it takes a little bit longer for it to launch at this point because it's going out to get this data. Notice there's my frame menu list on the left hand side, welcome to Rolling Thunder header, and there's my temperature. And of course I could click on these links and I have all the functionality of WeatherBug built now into my particular website. So that's our first mashup.